a spiritual battle. It has nothing to do with color, no isms. It has nothing to do with male or female. It's pure good versus evil. Really, it has nothing to do with color. And because human nature is evil, and that human nature, human beings, because of their nature being evil, they got to control somebody. They got to have control so they can feel important or feel free or whatever. It's not freedom, but it's a temporary feeling. And as long as they can control you, they have a false sense of life. But the moment you pull away from the crowd and they can no longer control you, you become their enemy and they'll go after you. And they'll build an army against you because human nature cannot live alone. You got to have somebody to control. It's so wicked. It's so evil. And this whole idea of civil rights and human rights is an evil idea. It has nothing to do with good. It has nothing to do with God. It's all about control. And when you believe it, they now have control of you and you vote for them or whomever they tell you to vote for. They'll tell you to jump off into the ocean, and you will. There's no such thing as civil rights and or human rights. Those are just words. And they will not let it go because it's worked for the evil of their nature. 11 Alive is reporting that the National Center for Civil Rights and Human Rights will officially reopen to the public Saturday morning following nearly $60 million renovation. Watch this from 11 Alive.
The National Center for Civil and Human Rights is reopening its doors with a bigger, more immersive experience.
We are going from a 42,000 square foot facility to a 65,000 square foot facility. We are going to have 6 new galleries, 3 new classrooms, 2 new wings.
Why the expansion? Why now?
Well, we started this expansion really in the summer of 2020 when the world, after the murder of George Floyd, was talking a lot about race and the history of race in the United States. We have Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s things, his papers, his photographs, his speeches, his sermons with his handwriting on them.
And interactive experiences.
Of course, our signature experience is the lunch counter experience, where people just get a taste of what it must have been like to be a nonviolent protester trying to integrate restaurants.
As the White House issues executive orders aimed at reshaping how the country's history is told in schools and museums, the center says its mission has never been more urgent.
We live in a moment where telling the full story of American history is under attack, and institutions are being asked to change what they present. I think it's important for people to understand that we believe we're telling a story about American greatness.
Amazing, huh? Desperation. They're losing power over you, and they don't want that to happen. So they got to create a bigger liar, a bigger lie. That you're going to put your hand in something, get experience of what it feels like to sit there and counting. What they're not telling you is that the so-called civil rights leaders, Martin Luther King and all those people, they told the blacks, go into the white man's private business and force the white man to feed you. Sit at his countertop and tell him he better feed you in his own private business, as though he didn't have a right to do what he want with his own business, what he wanted to with his own business. And they call that civil rights. And I remember the old people used to tell us, older people at the time, the blacks, don't be following that mess with Martin Luther King Jr. That's just mess. You're not supposed to impose on people private business. They have a right. If they don't want you in there, they have a right to not to want you. You don't have a right to be mad because somebody don't want to play with you. What the? But they pretend it was civil rights. And they were doing a peaceful protest by barging in on a private business and demanding what they should do with their own time and money. And they call that civil rights, human rights. And they're expanding that now because they're losing control over the blacks. Black men and women, some, not all, but most are starting to think for themselves. And they realize they've been set up. The whole civil rights movement was just like Mandami over in New York. It was a socialist movement, communist movement. It never meant to make you already free. What the? But they enslaved you by making you hate your fellow man and blame your fellow man and rely on them to tell you how to think and what to do. And they say, you know what? We're going to give you a government program. We really love you. And the blacks said, not all, but most said okay to that. And look at them today. If the so-called civil rights movement was good for the blacks, why are they still messed up 70 years later, give or take? Why? As my producer's telling me, he black. The Lush County experience was insane, and it was. Black people imposed upon white folks, as they still try to do today. And they call it DEI now. It used to be called affirmative action or reparations. Now they call it DEI, but it's the same. Daryl, you are on the air.
Hey, how you doing, Jesse?
All is well, Daryl.
You were just talking about civil rights.
Right.
The civil rights are put in for a reason. Like the black kids that couldn't go to college because George Wallace stopped them. You're not going to mention that to your viewers because your viewers believe in that stuff.
But George Wallace
didn't want. Rights.
Let's do one thing at a time. Calm down. George Wallace didn't want them to be forced into a white college. Black kids were able to go to black colleges all along.
Jesse.
But then the so-called civil rights leaders encouraged the blacks and told them, your college is not good enough. You need to go to a white college. And they tried to impose themselves upon white universities. Was that the right thing to do?
Well, yes. You know why, Jesse?
Why?
Because right now, with all the black students in white colleges, that's why the programs are rich with money because they're using the black people for athletics. That's right.
That's why what?
And I understand, Jesse, why you're mad.
Daryl,
I
that's
know
why
you're mad,
what now,
Jesse. You know why you're mad?
Daryl.
Yes.
You said as a result of the blacks going to the white college, what happened?
Athletics. The school makes millions of dollars and billions of dollars because that's why if the black athletes left the white universities probably have to close down.
No,
and that's the truth. So
that's
do
not
some
true.
Researching, Jesse.
That's not true.
Research.
So you think it was right for the blacks being led by the so-called civil rights leaders? You think it was right for the blacks to impose themselves on white universities?
It's not imposed. You want a fair chance.
Well,
all the black universities back then, they didn't have the proper teaching or the proper books.
So
why don't you tell the whole truth, Jesse?
If that's not,
I mean, you got white viewers, you're listening to you, they don't know everything. So you're easy
There. I was there. There were blacks in my family and other families that went to black universities. They came back as professionals. They was businessmen. They were teachers. They were
and you
doctors.
Have that right now.
They were doctors and they were nurses, and they were doing just fine going to a black university. Why you say they were not fine at a black university?
No, I'm just saying. I have friends who went to black university. I'm just saying they had a chance to go to white universities, and you're not telling the whole story.
But they imposed
right now.
There's
university in blacks.
There was Martin Luther King Jr. a hero?
Hello?
Was Martin Luther King Jr. a hero?
That's to be interpreted. I think he's like what you call, which I find a strange, a black guy calling somebody great white hope. I consider him like a Donald Trump. He got his bad sides, but he got his good sides too.
There was Martin Luther King Jr. a hero?
Yes, he was. If you call Donald Trump the great white hope in the hero, yes, he was.
And what?
You got Donald Trump was a rapist, acquitted. He got charged for rape. He got charged for all this stuff. You still say he's a white hope.
Why do you call Martin Luther King a hero?
Yes, I do. And you call Jesse and you call Donald Trump the great hope.
Why do you call Martin Luther King Jr. a hero?
Because he fought for rights for everybody. Civil rights means
white people march. What are civil rights?
Civil rights is equal rights for everybody in this country.
What is that?
Equal rights, they get a job. Jesse, don't hide it from people. Don't hide it that there's no racism. Don't hide. No, but because you're hiding it, you don't tell the kids the truth. You're hiding it. Just because you have a platform, Jesse. You're getting paid by white conservatives to pay you, and you have a topic that you don't tell the truth.
White conservatives
That's why I'm mad. You don't tell the truth. You say black, Jesse.
Yeah.
And the whole country's messed up, not just blacks. White people are struggling.
Yeah. You said white conservatives are paying me?
No, well, you know who said that? Nick Fuentes. And speaking of racism,
Hold on, Daryl. I'll put Daryl on hold for a minute. Daryl said white conservatives are paying me. So here's how you pay me, just in case. Because I don't see it. Maybe I'm black and slow. If you want to pay me, and I appreciate it, we need money to come in to do the work we're doing. You can go to rebuildingtheman.com, rebuildingtheman.com/donate, rebuildingtheman.com/donate. You can call 800-411-2663, 800-411-BOND. You can mail it in, make a check or money order out to BOND, and send it to P.O. Box 35090, LA, California, 90035. Or you can scan the QR code to help Bond. And I do appreciate it. So white people, come on, help. Y'all got money according to Daryl. All right, so help us to help others. Hey, Daryl.
Okay, I know you're trying to do good, Jesse. I'm just saying you got to be more consistent what you do.
Daryl, I want to go back to because of time, Daryl.
Yes.
What are civil rights?
I want you to answer my question about Tatum, Officer Tatum.
What are civil rights, Daryl?
I explained to you, it's rights for everybody in this country.
That's the civil rights you need. I'm black and slow, Daryl. I don't know what that means. What are civil rights?
That black and slow stuff doesn't work with me. I understand what you're trying to say. You know what it means.
What do you mean? Why black and slow doesn't work for you?
It doesn't work for you. No, it don't.
Why
I want you to answer this question about Officer Tatum, since you said there's no racism.
Daryl.
Why don't Officer Tatum say now there's racism in the country when he was?
I can't speak for Officer Tatum. You have to call him and ask him that. But let me ask.
No, but you said there's no racism. How come he's saying that now? He changed his tune. He used to talk like you.
Racism.
Now, how come he changed his tune on Ramaswamy?
Racism does not exist.
Explain that to your viewers, Jesse. Why is Ramaswamy saying there's racism in this country when you said there is not? Explain it.
Daryl, where's your proof?
There is racism.
Where's your proof?
You're going to find it. So
where's your proof that racism exists?
Or it's going to hit you. You're going to get the black wake-up call one day because you're black. You can act what you want to do, Jesse.
Thank you, Daryl. I got to run. What's up? Lee out of New Jersey. Lee, you are on the air.
Good day, Jesse.
Hey, Lee.
Thank you for
is it Leah or Lee?
It's Lee.
Okay, Lee, you're on the air.
Yeah, thank you for taking my call.
Yes.
I was listening to you earlier when you were speaking about private businesses that did not allow blacks and how blacks forced themselves on private businesses.
Down there in Alabama during the so-called civil rights movement, yeah.
Well, what do you think about the owners of the business that would not allow blacks? They weren't evil?
No, I think that they have a right to, since they built the business, they have a right to allow whomever they wanted in there. That's their business, and so if they're willing to lose money for whatever reason, they have a right to that.
But isn't it evil to hate blacks?
Hold on.
Wait,
one thing
I do agree with that.
Okay.
I do agree with that, and I'm not disputing that. Is it evil to not allow them?
So, were they wrong to decide whom they wanted in their own business or not?
If they were discriminating because a person was solely black.
That's not the question.
That is evil.
Were they
and
wrong, Leah?
That is evil and wrong.
Leah, were they wrong?
That is evil.
They built this business. They get
I
up.
said it was evil.
I'm gonna have to put you on. I'm gonna let you go if you don't communicate.
I said it was evil and
How
wrong.
is it evil to decide who you want to let in your own business? How is that evil?
Because you're discriminating against a person solely because they're black.
And do you have a right to discriminate with your own business for whatever reason?
It's not unlawful. It should not be unlawful, but it should be evil and wrong.
Is it right to be able to discriminate when you build a business with your own sweat and money, blood, sweat, and tears? Is it wrong to decide who you want to let in your business or not?
It is evil and wrong.
That's not what I ask. Is it wrong with your own private business that you built? Are you wrong for deciding who you want to let in or not?
I am saying it is wrong.
How is it wrong to decide who you want in your own business?
If you discriminate against a person because they're black.
Leah, how is it wrong to decide who you want to let in your own business that you built. How's that wrong?
Well, okay. Okay, let me ask you this question, man.
Leah, I got to go.
No, let me ask you a question.
You're wasting my time.
I'm not wasting your time. I'm disagreeing with you.
No, you're wasting my time.
How am I I disagree?
Answer the question.
I said what I said. I said it was wrong.
Right? So it's wrong for you to let whomever you want into your own business. How's that
said
wrong?
It's wrong?
How's that wrong?
I said it's wrong.
How is it wrong?
I said it's wrong.
How is it wrong?
Because you're hating a person because they're black.
It ain't about hating. How is that wrong?
So, okay. You said earlier.
Bye, Leah.
No, so you won't answer.
888-7753-773.